I'm Henry.
I'm Will.
I'm Guy. My name's Ian.
And we're missing Dom, our keyboard player.
Yeah, it's our first trip to the States, together as a band. Yeah, and it's been amazing, to be honest. Like we played Mohawks on the first night, on the first day, which is on Tuesday, and it's just been a really fun couple of days. We did 3 shows yesterday, which was
Intense.
exciting and knackering, and also really intense, especially because you're moving all your gear from one venue to the other. At one point we were walking all our gear from one venue to the other, actually carrying it. So yeah, it's been like very un-rock and roll, very unglamorous, and that's kind of what we like to do. So it's been cool.
Does it make it all the more rewarding when you get on the stage and everything works and
Yeah.
Or not quite work. Hence our keyboard player not being here at the moment. It's the nature of this festival. I don't think you can be too precious about gear. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. It happens for everyone. So.
Yeah, so we got to the second show yesterday, and all our keyboards packed up. Henry's amp kind of packed up. But you know, it's fun. You can't be too precious about it. You've got to go on with it. So yeah, it's cool.
So you're over here. You've got a couple of singles out, but your album isn't yet released.
No.
So it must be quite. I don't know what the right word is. Maybe you have the word, but the fact that you're over here, you don't have a debut out yet, but all these amazing things are happening for you. Does that add pressure to kind of to your shows over here?
Yeah, I don't know. Not. Doesn't really feel like it at the moment. I mean, I think for us, we just kind of we're sort of very aware that we haven't really done that much as a band yet. I mean, you know, no one's heard the album. We've released 2 singles, so what people say about us is very flattering and very nice. But the only way they're ever going to truly know what the band is about is by coming to see us live. So there isn't too much pressure, because you can't really sort of pay too much attention to what the media is saying, because we've never only heard sort of 3 songs. I mean,
out here you don't have time to think about it anyway. It's just a case of you've got 20 minutes and you're on stage. You're not really worrying about what people are going to think.
Exactly. You're just like sweating and running from one venue to the other, and like trying to put a clean t-shirt on, then failing, and then you stink, and it's just like, well, I mean, people just think what they think. You can't get too precious about it, and that's the beauty of it. That's kind of the beauty of it. It can be weird if you came over and played like a really high-profile, high-end production like showcase, you know, where you had like 2 days to prepare for it. That would be horrible, because you'd think about it too much.
I've also found here that it's actually yeah. I'll tell you more. I've also found here that it's like there's a nice spirit amongst the artists, and a really good festival spirit, which I wasn't sure quite how that would be. I didn't know whether, because obviously being like a showcase type festival, I thought maybe it could be a bit like maybe like a competitive spirit, yeah, and like a kind of industry sort of spotlight, scrutinising kind of atmosphere. But actually, it's just been really nice. Just so many artists playing. It's just like you're just part of. You feel like you're part of a bigger, wider event, I think, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, like, we've met like a load of bands who are really nice. We ended up going to a band called Cuckoo Chaos. We walked into their show and saw them play, and they were really good. And then, you know, we sort of told them where we were playing the next day, and they came to the show, and you know, we exchanged numbers. And it's like it's a very different, sort of a different thing to what happens in England. Like England, I think everyone's quite standoffish with each other. Everyone's a bit like, oof, like I'm in a band as well, and it's a bit sort of strangely competitive. But here, it just doesn't seem to be like that. It's great.
Now, when it comes to the record, which will, I assume, be released later this year, we've heard a couple of singles from it. We Should Be Swimming, of course, is the most recent. Does that give us a good indication of what we're going to get on the full length?
It's a funny one for us, because we Should Be Swimming and Never Leave are 2, and We Should Be Swimming particularly is like it's very pop, which is great, and it's very kind of fast and dance, and it is a side to our band, but simultaneously the album has got some sort of slower, like more atmospheric, sort of cinematic moments to it. So yeah, like We Should Be Swimming, like it's representative of maybe 50% of the record, but then the other 50% is probably a little weirder and a little slower than people are expecting. which I think is kind of exciting.
I think it's very rare that singles are representative of a whole record. If you singles, they have to serve a purpose, which is to bring more people in. But I think rarely do you hear a single and then you expect the rest of the record to sound like that. So there's a big range of stuff on there.
We've all got different tastes in music as well, which is one of the things which I think is really good about us. Like me and Guy are more into our sort of beat, rhythmical sort of stuff, and Henry and Dom are really into their atmospherics and things like that. You're big into your folk and things, and it kind of it represents our sounds in different ways, and that's what to expect from the record. I think lots of people will really enjoy it. It's, covers a lot of bases, which is great.
How are you feeling about coming down under? It's a brief jaunt.
As far as playing, it's going to be amazing, and it's just so nice to like play in a country which some of us have never been to before, and also where people have no idea who we are and what to expect, and that's really exciting because you can sort of win people over.
Imagine having to do that a lot at the moment, though.
Yeah, and it's great. We played a place called the Tiniest Bar in Texas yesterday, and there were like no industry there. It was like just Texans just hanging out, people from Austin. And when we started playing, everyone was sitting down, and by the end we had like a bunch of people standing up and people really enjoying it. And it was like, that's kind of what's exciting about being in a band when you're starting out, because once you've got fans, everyone knows who you are and they can sing along to the songs, and playing a gig is a different kind of thing. But for us now, it's like every show is really important because no one knows who we are, and we're trying to just sort of make headway and win fans, and that's the most exciting part of it at the moment.
And look, I love the singles, and I cannot wait to hear
man.
the full-length record. And do we have a release date for that yet?
Yeah, it's out May 14th in UK and Europe. I think it's probably out May 14th in Australia as well. So yeah, just then.
Not bad to have a deal in Australia.
Oh, it's great. I mean, actually, weirdly, Due Process were the first, which is our Australian label. They were the first label that we signed to worldwide. So there's a nice kind of tying of the circle there where we can. It's nice for us to sort of go there and be like, thanks for being the first people to sort of show interest. So,
The
yeah.
guys from the label are really nice as well. We went.
Yeah, we saw Blake yesterday actually.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah,
yesterday?
yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, they're very Australian, which is great. They're sort of they're like just super enthusiastic about everything we do. So maybe they're just really stupid. It's 'cause they like us. Who knows?